Now, what is in store for this young man, no one can say. But one thing is certain. As long as there are Steve Armstrongs out there in the universe, there will always be contenders.
Fuck yeah.
Of our galaxy, there is a battleground where alien warriors compete for the ultimate prize.
I am champion! Will a human do battle in the arena? Now, where is the challenger?
Where humans have lost.
You ever thought about the arena, Steve?
It ain't gonna work. This guy's a human.
What it takes to win.
You're talking about arena fighting. It's not for me.
Yo, how fucking good is Arena?
So welcome to Fanboy and the Snob. I guess you made me
Yet
watch
again,
Arena.
Chris made Chad watch another amazing film. Have I done you dirty yet? Have I suggested a bad film yet?
Osmosis Jones.
Fuck you! You liked it. God damn it! How good was Arena?
When you said it was free on YouTube, I got a little worried. But there's actually good movies free on YouTube now.
Rain of Fire. No,
Oh,
we liked it.
Yeah, Rain of Fire was good. No, this. Oh, all right, let's start off. What's the premise of this movie?
Okay, so it's the future. Do they ever say the year?
I don't think so. If they did, I just don't remember.
Let's say it's the year 2000, and it's the future. And man has progressed into space and has met many races. And the number one sport in the universe, I guess, is UFC.
Arena fighting.
And humanity just can't compete. There hasn't been a human
2,000
fighter.
years or something like that.
No, because the guy lives in the slums. He was the last champion. It's been like 50 years.
50 years?
Yeah.
All right.
And let's talk about the arena fighting in the first place. So it's multiple alien races fighting each other, right? But how do you make it even?
They have the cool
Handicap
thing.
Where I guess it limits your power level.
Yeah, it's something that I didn't really pick up on until the end, where they're like,
Where they were really manipulating it. Yeah.
But pretty much the premise of the movie is all these people live on space stations here and there. You can go back to Earth, but people are like,
yeah, this is a space station like far out in the middle of nowhere.
But on the space station, you have like the upper class people. If you have a job, you're going to be living comfortable. But if you don't have a job, they're going to send you back to your planet.
Yeah, you're living. If you don't have a job, you're going to go back to your planet, or you're going to live in the belly of the space station.
The belly of the space station didn't look that bad.
It wasn't as bad as, like, let's say,
Chicago.
I mean, nothing's as bad as Chicago or Detroit. Get your ass to mall. Total Recall. Remember when they go to the slums of Total? It wasn't as bad as the slums of Total Recall. It wasn't as bad as the slums of RoboCop. In fact, everyone kind of seemed happy.
Yeah, it was like a little anarchist community.
Yeah, and they were like happy and working together, and it was nice. And the fighter from 50 years ago basically ran the community because no one fucked with him, and it was pretty cool. But we're digressing.
But in the movie, you pretty much have Steve. Fucking
Steve Armstrong.
The most like American,
most generic motherfucker on the face of the starship.
So pretty much the movie starts out where he's working in a restaurant. He's doing really bad. And then something happens where a fight breaks out.
No. That's not how it starts. It starts with Spinner.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
My fucking champion of the goddamn light. Spinner is doing his fucking best.
He's doing his spinning shit.
This fucking juicer. He uses steroids and he cheats. And his name is Horn. Horn! He is a dick and he cheats. And Spinner fucking grabs him and does his little...
I love how every time he does a da-da-da-da, it's like a close-up because it's them just like with the little word behind
it. Yeah, with sticks. Yeah, just pushing it forward.
Which speaks to the creativity of this movie.
Oh my god, everything about this movie is amazing. I really enjoy this movie just because you look at it and you go, I see how they did that, and it looks good. Yeah. It's all practical effects, and it's all costumes, and like. Sure,
I feel like some of it was models.
Yeah, a lot of it was models. Jesus Christ, how do I explain it? Remember how good A New Hope was, and it was all practical effects for the most
Yes,
part.
pretty much what they did with this.
Yeah, where this movie is like cheesy as fuck, and it's lame, and it's stupid, and no one acts well, and the script sucks. But when you watch it, you're like, God damn, there's a lot of heart.
It's got a charm, which makes it an okay movie.
It makes it a great movie because I would rather watch a bad movie where the person who's making it really gives a shit about what they're making than a good committee movie.
This is one of the best definitions of a B movie.
This is definitely
They gave it everything they had
Everything.
to try to make a movie instead of just trying to make it bad.
or just make it to make profit. This was someone's vision, and it was awesome. I would watch an arena too in a fucking heartbeat. Like, it was so good. So basically, the plot is like, so they like this intergalactic MMA thing is like the most popular thing in the world universe, and a human has never won in 50 years, and what do they call them? The Nobians or something like that. This four-armed guy has basically like scammed this like plucky blonde-haired guy into like being his fucking lackey, and they're working at a concession stand during the Spinner versus Horn fight.
Yeah.
And Spinner loses, and he screams, "Please don't retire me," because he's a cybernetic organism, and retirement meant unplugging.
Yeah.
And I felt super bad for him. He's like, "Please don't retire me," and they're like, "No, we'd never do it." And he's like, "Just make sure you never do it, please." You know. And I was like, "Oh, damn, Spinner, that sucks." But so anyway, they're doing the fight. And then these two like weird little like fish people come up and start screaming at the Denobian or whatever he's called, and he's like, fuck you guys. And then a giant fish guy,
Shorty, by the way,
it's Shorty, a giant fish guy shows up, and he's like, "I'm gonna kick your ass, you little short bitch." And then the blonde-haired Aryan Chad shows up, and he's like, "No, we're gonna fight." And they actually have like a good like drawn out like knuckle busting like.
I feel like that fight was better than the Horn fight.
He fucking throws him through a window. Like, it was brutal. And then since he fights for Shorty, since Steve defends Shorty, they both lose their jobs. But in Shorty's culture, if you defend my life, I have to pay you back.
Yeah.
So Shorty takes him into the bowels of the space station, shows him his apartment, fucking is like, "We're gonna do this. We're gonna become bros. Like, I'm gonna hook you up, dude."
Like, it's not that bad down here, actually.
Seriously, he leaves like the luxury apartments and goes to the slums and is like, "This is better," you know. Then eventually, it turns out the fish guy he beat up is a fighter who was in training for this. I guess you could call them the good guys. They're the ones that don't use steroids and they believe in a fair fight and honor and all that bullshit. And they recruit Steve, but not before
the girl sends like two goons after him.
Yeah. And he beats the shit out of the two goons.
So he gets the shit beat out of him, and then all of a sudden he just like kind of goes, "Oh."
He what's it called? He hulks out.
Yeah.
You know? I Am a Real American starts playing, and he literally like does the whoa that Hulk does, and he rips his shirt off and he starts wailing. It was fucking awesome. Oh my god, Hulk Hogan was supposed to be the star of this film, now that I think about it.
Really?
Think about it. He does the whole like routine that Hulk does.
I don't know if I would have liked it better.
It would have been way worse. This guy can act better than Hulk.
This guy's discount being Christopher Reeve.
His name is Paul Satterfield.
Yeah.
You know Paul Satterfield?
But pretty much all this happens. Then they randomly go to a casino.
I muted it, but it started playing sound.
But they randomly go to the casino, and
Yeah.
Shorty ends up like losing all his money. But then a riot breaks out because the police come. I guess it's an illegal casino.
They go gambling, and they don't really win or lose. And then the cops show up because it's an illegal casino, and Weasel sees them.
Can we talk about the makeup on just that one guy too?
Can we talk about the makeup on everyone?
Yeah, so good.
The prosthetics that they use to make their aliens.
Like there are a lot of there's some prosthetics
good.
out there. I'll put it up on the screen and edit.
Yeah.
But there's some prosthetics out there that just look awful, but everything in this kind of looked believable.
Yeah.
To the point, even like the robots and stuff.
Everything looked great.
Yeah.
Everything looked great. The sets looked good. The fucking special effects were okay, but low budget fucking 80s movie. It was fucking great. Fish Kid 1 and 2.
Steve Wang.
Steve Wang.
Bang.
Sloth is the guy who's like, do I have to keep being Horn?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. That was one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah.
He's like, he might be my favorite character.
Dude, I love Spinner. Just the please don't retire me scene. I was like, oh no, Spinner.
No, but pretty much they end up stealing money from the casino as it's being rampaged, and then they get caught. And the guy's like,
They get caught by Gul Dukat
Gul Dukat.
from Deep Space Nine.
So when that happens, they're like, we're going to keep Shorty, and you have to find pretty much $1,800 or something, whatever it was.
1,800 credits.
Yeah. And then he comes back like an hour later. He's like, here's your money, because he agrees to fight for the girl. Which, let's talk about this. The beginning of the movie, he's talking to Shorty. He's like, my dream was to fight in the arena.
But just, I'm not made for it or whatever.
No, he's like, but it just didn't work out. Then when he gets the chance to fight in arena legitly, he's like, no, I could never do that.
Well, no, the reason he doesn't want to do it is because he knows it's corrupt. He knows everyone's juicing and shit like that.
Is that why?
Yeah.
That was just bad
Because in the
storytelling.
opening scene, when Spinner's whooping the shit out of fucking Horn, there's the scene where they fucking straight up take the giant needle and inject steroids into his arm. You know, like, he talks about how he fought. He was like, I won some matches, but I lost a lot because everyone was cheating.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then the girl's like, well, we don't cheat. And he's like, okay, I'll fight for you. You know, like...
But then he gets the money from the girl and gives it to the guy, and the guy's like, how'd he do that?
And then he was like, Bajorans loved being under our military occupation. And you're like, what? And he goes, nah, never mind. It's a Cardassian joke. Watch Star Trek. Also, Weasel is played by Armin Shimmerman, who is Quark. So there's 2 Deep Space Nine characters in this movie. And Weasel's makeup is fucking amazing. Weasel's an awesome character.
Yeah.
That guy, Armin, plays, like, I don't know if you've never seen Deep Space Nine, so I can't even begin to tell you how complex and amazing of a character Quark is. And it's only because Armin plays him perfectly.
Mm.
And again, Weasel, we only see him, 5% of the movie? But every scene he's in, you're like, damn, dude, that guy's really good at acting. You know,
Yeah.
like, even playing the scene where he's, like, watching them steal the money, he's like, and you're like, it's not corny, it's not stupid, it's
He's a
believable.
good character actor. He
He's
does
a
good job.
great character actor.
Even the guy with, like, the weird, like, robot brain thing who ends up getting blown up at the end.
Yeah.
He was really good, too. This movie was made when they had a lot of good character actors.
This movie was made when they weren't ultra reliant on green screen.
Yeah. I'd love to see the sets in this movie, and I like the miniature sets and all that.
The space station at the beginning, I'm pretty sure that's just a kit bash of some Star Trek stuff. You know what a kit bash is? Okay, so when you're building plastic models, right, and you get the leftover pieces, you can build things out of the leftover pieces, so it's called a kit bash.
Mm.
That's just a kit bash of a fucking Star Trek space station, a Federation space station, with a little bit of like a Nebula class and a little bit of a Constitution. Meaning they had leftover pieces of the Nebula, the space station, and the Constitution, and they were like, here's our own thing.
That's cool.
It's ingenuity. It's cool.
Yeah.
I like it, you know?
I miss movies that do stuff like that.
Exactly.
But then the movie goes down the line where they have like this cheesy montage of him fighting all the people.
Yeah, well, they do the Rocky thing,
Yeah.
you know?
They're like, Rocky was cool.
This actually came... Rocky was 79, right? The first one?
This is 89.
This is 89. So this is like Rocky 4? Drogo?
There were 2 Rockies that came out in the 70s.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Yeah,
No,
then
1 came out in 79.
1 and 2 came out in the 70s, and 3 and 4 came out in the 80s, I believe.
So this, I think, is supposed to be the Russian one. Or is this the Mr. T one?
I would see this more as the Mr. T one.
Okay. That makes sense because it's street
Yeah.
fighting. Okay.
No, but pretty much... Oh my god, we forgot to talk about the girl.
Oh, yeah.
Hello,
Talk about the
hello.
girl.
All right, so there's like this pop star in the thing that's singing super cheesy 80s
So
music.
bad.
And he ends up running into her in the casino.
She was so hot, though.
She was hot, and you see a little underbutt.
Dude, and she is told by, I forget the character's name, the casino owner. I'm going to keep calling him Gul Dukat because that's what I know him from. She was told by Gul Dukat to seduce him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
So
And
pretty much, she starts it out at the casino.
she
being,
kind of looks like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah. She kind of looks like Taylor Swift.
But they did the whole thing where, like, she liked him. But even the scene when she was seducing him before she poisoned him, she's like, what about the fight? She was trying to, like, talk him out of it.
Yeah.
Then she just went against it and poisoned. She ends up poisoning him. And that gives all the drama of him being like, he might not be able to do the fight. So there's the whole thing where, like, we're about to call the fight. And this doctor comes in and heals him.
Kind of looks like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Not as tall.
Definitely not so.
Maybe she's Taylor Swift's mom. Maybe.
But there's the scene where, like, she seduces him. They're making love. Then she's like, oh, just one toast. And he's like, I have a fight. And she's like, oh, one won't hurt, pretty much.
And he's like, I'm a straight edge faggot. No.
And then he drinks it, and...
Oh, wait, I am gay. And then he drinks it.
And then he ends up passing out. They find him. He like stumbles into the thing all fucked up. The doctor's like, we can heal him. But if we didn't catch him in time, he would have died.
Taylor Swift poisoned him.
But then they're like, they did the whole thing where like he won't be 100%. But then when he's fighting, he's 100% until they do
Because, man, he has the heart of a fucking warrior.
But the coolest thing is they have the... What's it called?
The handicap system.
The handicap system. And they just fucking drown him in it.
Right, because Weasel finds a way to rig the handicap system.
Yeah.
So he gives it like 0% Steve, 100%, or whatever it would be.
Yeah.
Horn gets the advantage. And yet, Steve.
Well, that's because Shorty goes up there and whoops some ass and just turns the handicap off.
Yeah.
Which, don't you think if they turned it off, Horn would just be like, oh.
But that was the point.
Yeah.
They turned it off. So Horn no longer had the advantage, but he was fighting at his prime, right? He was still physically stronger than Steve.
And
But
just fucked him up.
Steve, heart of a fucking warrior, man. That's what it means to be a fucking human. I don't give a fuck that you're stronger than me. I'm going to find a way to beat the shit out of you.
And then you have the... Oh, can we talk about the fucking... Why in the 80s and like early 90s they had to put them in this fucking weird-ass outfits?
Because that's what people were wearing.
The
Think
fucking...
about Prince.
The battle
Michael
outfit.
Jackson.
The battle outfit they gave Steve was awful.
That's what they were wearing. Aerobics were a thing. Okay? Jazzercising. Remember that?
Ugh, it was awful.
Did your mom own a step aerobics thing? Like the little square that you would walk up and then walk down and then walk up
I don't think
and then
so.
walk down. My mom owned one. We used to play G.I. Joes on it. We would pretend it was like an aircraft.
We used to have that thing you put between your legs and you squeezed it.
the Bowflex.
And we used to just launch it. Every time you could hit
My
in the face
neighbor
with
had
that.
one of those things where you hold. It was like the 360 like thing where you
Yeah.
could do that, and we used to just try and bend our spines back as far as we
Those
could.
things hurt as hell when you fell off them and stuff.
Well,
though.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Arena.
Amazing.
It's for a fucking movie you can go on YouTube and watch for free, and it's only like what, an hour and 37 minutes.
Hour 30, hour 20.
I'd watch it.
When I suggested this, what did you think?
I watched the trailer and I'm like, I'll probably like this.
I sent you the trailer, and your immediate response was, "Why?" And I went, "Dude, watch this. Trust me." And you were like, "You should have just sent the whole movie." And then the next day, I get, "Dude, that movie was great." And it was like, "Yeah, I fucking told you, man."
No, it's literally just a fun movie to watch.
It's so much fun.
Like, you can go again. Like, the acting's not great, but you kind of forget about it because you get caught up in
you
the
get
whole-
immersed
Yeah.
because the scenery, the setting, the costumes, everything is. The
I love
music-
Shorty. He's like, what do you want from me? I only have 4 hands.
Yeah.
And I hate to be the guy that's underneath him always, because when he's climbing up the ladder, you have like the 4 hands.
Yeah.
coming up and stuff.
And other than that, it's fishing wire that's
Yeah.
holding his fucking hand. Like, I love that. I love Shorty's apartment where it's just like a hallway because that's all they had to film in, you know? Like,
No, this movie's charming as fuck.
it's the definition of like who's the director? This dude, Peter Manoogian, knew exactly what he wanted to make, and
He knew what he had and what he wanted to make and how to
and
do
he
it.
made it the best way possible. And like, you look at committee films like the Joss Whedon Justice League,
Yeah.
where they have an unlimited budget and they have all these A-list actors and all these A-list scriptwriters, and they give you complete fucking garbage. And yet, Peter Magoolian and Danny Bislan and Paul DeMeo give you gold. They just give you gold. They're like, here you go. We made this for $100,000. You know? And you're like, fuck, man, this was amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for making this.
But we highly recommend watching this.
Again.
Like I said, it's fucking free on YouTube. Just
It's the same thing with Osmosis Jones in our previous video, if this airs after Osmosis.
Osmosis is already up.
You know what I mean, but this might not merit. It's just the idea of like someone being like, this is my idea, I'm going to make it.
Yeah. Except Osmosis Jones definitely had a lot of committee stuff.
Well, the parts that weren't committee were amazing, is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a independent filmmaker or anything, never let the committee make any decisions.
And if you appreciate like set design and makeup design and all that stuff, this is just a great movie to watch.
The prosthetics on this movie.
And even the beginning fight when he's fighting like that weird monster thing, that was
The
all
big-legged
I feel
thing.
like that was all stop motion.
Like it was a mix of claymation, actual, because when he was punching the leg, that was an actual leg, and then it
Yeah.
would cut to the claymation, and then he punched the leg, and then it would cut to the stomach, that was real.
Yeah.
You know, it was good.
It's so like older movies have to be so much more creative.
Which is why I primarily watch old movies now, because I don't
Yeah.
care about modern film. Like, if a modern movie is good, I'll watch it, but like I don't give a fuck about the new Avengers films. I don't care.
They're amazing. I love them.
Yeah, it's a really cool cartoon.
Thanks for watching.
I love Arena.
Fanboy and a Snob. I'm Chad.
Arena was the film that made me start watching a new film every night.
Really?
Literally, like about 10 years ago. Yeah, 2011, it's 2021. Yeah. About 10 years ago, I watched this one night on a whim, and I was like, fuck, I need to start watching movies. And ever since then, I've watched 2 or 3 new movies a night.
That's why I'll never catch up.
Yep.
Well, let us know. Have you watched this movie? Are you going to watch it?
Please watch it. We'll include the free link in the description to
Yeah.
this movie. Why the fuck not?
Just fucking watch it, you
It's
assholes.
a really good movie. It's really dumb fun.
Thanks for watching, guys.
I mean, Superman doesn't laser a guy's horn off, but like, what are you
That was
gonna do?
awesome, though.